beware of those stimulus checks. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And yeah, just a quick heads up, man. Watch out for these stimulus checks, because we're talking about the devil here, And one thing about these stimulus checks is that it's this message is really going out to you brothers who will probably be receiving stimulus checks. We all know what the scriptures say. Let me just okay. Let's see if he do good, he doeth it. I believe it probably is Sirach, the 12th chapter. Okay. Let me see. It'd be much easier to find if I just go to Google. Okay. Yeah, take me to Google, please. So it's not like that, Then bear with me for one moment, because these stimulus checks, they can create, what we call complacency, Now the scriptures do say as using the world, but not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. You see, Bible. If he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. There's a Bible verse on it. Here, let me just, I don't know if that's, okay, let's click on this right here. Sirach chapter 14 verse 7. Okay, Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 verse 7. Well, you know what? Let me just start up here. Okay. It says, there is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. Right? Hold on. Cause okay, yeah, you know what? Let's start up at verse 5. Okay, because this you can apply this to Esau, Edom. It says, he that is evil to himself, right? Because isn't it not what they do? Here it is. On the same planet you live on, right? You're spraying chemtrails in the air. You're polluting the water supply. The food is being defiled. And he don't even care if it's affecting his own people. As long as he's able to, get to us, that's all what matters. So, yeah, he's evil to himself, right? Talking about these Edomites, starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation and people. It says, he that is evil to himself, right? To whom will he do good? he shall not take pleasure in his goods. Verse 6, there is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. Now check this out, right? It says, and if he doeth good, right, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. So if these Edomites do good, right, they do it unwillingly. You know, they're not giving you stimulus checks because they care about you. They don't. Look, man, the devil don't care about nobody. Okay, so it says, in true government exercises, every wrong solution before finally begrudgingly arriving at the correct one fashion. This is the week that California residents can finally expect to get their middle class tax refund. I mean, because generally, ain't that what a stimulus check is? It says the name of the state has given to its stimulus checks. It's distributing to residents in order to help fight inflation, which further goes to show you that the United States of America is in fact going through inflation, right? It says 23 million tax-paying California residents are eligible to receive the payments, ABC reported this week. The payments are slated to start going out Thursday and Friday and are technically tax refunds. Hey, man. But they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you that it's stimulus checks, right? Well, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now, when you look up this word devices in a Blue Letter Bible or blueletterbible.org, right? You'll find out that this word devices goes back to the Greek word naima, which means an evil scheme or purpose. And indeed, there is an evil scheme and an evil purpose behind the stimulus checks. Okay? So, yeah, excuse me here. This thing is hold on. Okay, so this read a little bit more here. It says the checks, which can be as much as $1,050 and are the brain of child of Governor Gavin Newsom, will be distributed in amounts determined by people's annual income mixed with the amount of dependents they have. The California Globe broke down the details this week. So, you know, these stimulus checks, all the stuff that's going on, it's really not going to do much. You know, there is no bouncing back. You know, there is no bouncing back. You know, through this financial system that is currently crashing. This financial system is going to continue to crash. Okay? There is no reparations for this country. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon, right, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquities, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will recompense unto her. He will render unto her a recompense. And indeed, the Lord is going to recompense this country, especially for its pride and all the iniquities that it have committed from the shedding of the blood of the Israelites to the polluting of the air, this country is going to be destroyed. So what we're seeing is what? America is starting to face financial ruin. And as I said earlier, it don't matter how many stimulus checks you give out, okay? Because at the end of the day, the stimulus checks is not going to stop the financial system of this wicked country from collapsing. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Meaning these other nations have lost their minds. And why is that? Because a lot of these countries have decided to take on the democracy of this wicked country. Which that democracy is what? Do as thou wilt, right? Because America's democracy is based on the Aleister Crowley doctrine. So verse 8 says, right, Babylon, which is the United States of America, is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Because the only thing keeping this country alive right now is really money. But once you run out of that option, then what? So this country is heading to financial ruin. Prices are going to keep going up. The cost of living is going to continue to go up. And this dollar is going to continue to lose its value. Why? Because Mr. Biden here wants to send billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine. Which this is all really just a strategy on the left-hand side by the so-called elites to crash the dollar. Because they know that the more America spends, the more money they're going to have to print. And the more money you print, the more value this dollar loses. So Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. And another reason why they're giving, people these stimulus checks is because they want people to be occupied with worldly things. You see, and while these people are going to be occupied with worldly things, while they are going to be busy splurging and spending all this money, these devils are going to be working on something wicked behind the scene. And it's going to go right over everybody's head that's busy being occupied with all this money they have to spend, right? So it says, Babylon, which is the United States of America, is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Right, because the best way to heal this country is really to get it out of debt. But America is over $23 trillion in debt. And the Lord, He's only going to continue to bring this country down financially. As a matter of fact, the so-called elites, they want this country to go down. Excuse me one moment. Okay, the so-called elites, they want this country to go down. It says, we would have healed Babylon, right? But she is not healed. Right. She's not healed. And the proof that she's not healed is the fact that you got states like California fighting inflation. But you can try to fight inflation all you want. No matter how much quantitative easing you do, no matter how much more money you try to pump into the system, okay, I mean, at this point, it's safe to say that it's all in vain. Because the money is going nowhere except down pits into holes. You know, no amount of money is going to be able to sustain this country. Period. Forsake her and let us go everyone to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom. It's on to the next one.